Welcome to What the Sci-Fi, guys.
What up? How's it going?
It looks scary, I know.
Another week of Mandalorian Season 3. We are reviewing Episode 2 of Season 3, Chapter 18.
I'm using sci-fi.
Yeah.
And it's called The Mines of Mandalore.
This is a really good episode.
Yes, it was. I was all about like the actual story of Mandalore and just seeing Mandalore. That's what really fascinated me. The Empire messed Mandalore up.
From the very beginning, you're like, okay, well, the name of it is Mines of Mandalore. So you're going to see Mandalore, which is cool. And then you see Tatooine first.
We always go back to Tatooine. It's like, aren't we like tired of Tatooine yet? Jeez. And we got to see, what was that lady's name? Pelimato? Pelimato. There we go. And she like refuels his ship, and she starts talking about like getting a droid because obviously IG-11 isn't working well, so he needs an actual R2 unit, or R5, I mean. And he was actually, that droid was actually pretty cool, bro.
What, the R5?
Yeah, the R5 unit.
So now I think that's supposed to be the same R5 that's in episode 4, The New Hope. It gets off the Jawa's barge or whatever. Or I guess it wouldn't be a barge, but the Jawa collecting ship or whatever. Basically, that's the whole reason that Star Wars started, because of that droid.
And I actually really like that droid had a very cautious kind of personality.
Yeah.
Cautious, fearful. And she's just like, oh yeah, have my R5 unit. Mando's looking at him, and then the droid like purposefully tries to break down. And that was just hilarious to me.
Yeah, second time he's done that. So he senses fear, or no, he senses danger, and he'll purposely break down.
Yeah. That was just funny to me. That was hilarious. And they actually kind of changed the ship around where Grogu used to actually sit with the glass cover. They take the glass cover off, and he just sits there just like a normal R5 unit on a ship.
Those ships had R2 and R5, R3, whatever units in the prequel series.
Right.
So that space was originally for droids, and then she modded it to be for Grogu. Mm-hmm. And then she modded it back for the droid, which is cool. He went there 4 parts for IG-11. I'm not sure if they're still going to do anything with it. I'd be very interested and surprised if they really don't go back to IG-11. It'd be an interesting story device that they don't go back there, because like you said last week, there's no reason to really have IG-11, So using the R5, now they really don't need them anymore, One-off clip in episode 1, and then got away from it and went with the R5 unit. And it was cool to see Astromech being front and center again in the Star Wars. It felt really Star Warsy.
He gets the R5 unit, and then we go to Mandalore. Mando's like telling him, okay, go search out to see if the oxygen levels are safe, if the atmospheric composition is safe.
5, you ready? I'm going to need you to scout ahead and analyze the atmosphere.
And he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
It's like, no, forget you, man. That was hilarious.
And he tells him that's not a question.
It wasn't a question.
Yeah, I did like that.
Dude, this was probably one of the funniest episodes for me. It was just hilarious. All these droids, man. I like how they take creative license to have every droid have its different personality.
Yeah.
It was really cool. R2-D2 is very spunky, starts arguments, and he talks shit, And then C-3PO is very like critical, precise. honest,
Nervous.
scared, all that anxiety. His anxiety's through the roof. All that. So that's hilarious. All these droids have different personalities. It's just great to see. It continued down that road, checking the atmospheric composition and oxygen levels, and he doesn't come back. And then you see like Grogu. You know what? Actually, rewind here. You know, in Tatooine.
Oh yeah.
When he sees Peli.
Moto.
Grogu jumps out of his seat, flips out of his seat, and lands on her. It was just like, whoa.
Yeah, Grogu is more agile in this episode. He's walking a lot more. You see him full body walking, which is probably digital. I'd be surprised if they actually motorized him walking, because that'd be intense.
But going back to we're at Mandalore now, and he, you can see in Grogu's face that he's like kind of scared and worried for this droid. And it was just so cool to see like his, man, I want to know who does the actual puppeteering of Grogu, because they do a really good job with his facial expressions.
Well, they have like 4 or 5 people doing it.
Din Djarin gets out of his ship and he goes and he searches, for what's up. And we get our first glimpse of the creatures that are living in Mandalore right now. What are they called again?
The Alamites. Yeah.
Alamites. We hear that they've actually been on Mandalore before, but not in the Mandalorian city. They were more on the outskirts of the actual city itself and planet itself.
They used to live in the surface wastelands beyond our cities.
So it's kind of crazy to see, like, it was this giant civilization, powerful civilization that was just completely destroyed.
Yeah. And those things are cool looking, actually. I like the way they looked.
Yeah, with their eyes and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it did have reminded me of the creature that Luke Skywalker fights in Empire Strikes Back. The snow monster thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they're in Sundari or Sundari?
Sundari. Mando gets attacked. He ends up beating those creatures, goes down into Sundari, the capital city, and then it was actually kind of cool to see him using his jetpack.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. Gets down in there and sees all these different Mandalorian helmets. Going in further into the actual capital itself, you see like just piles and piles of different Mandalorian armor. And then as he's moving forward, you see this big machine that grabs him. Grogu's little pod is what is that exactly?
I don't know, a hover pod or a...
Yeah, hover pod or something. But that thing's quick.
Yeah.
He moved out of the way real quick when he saw that robot. And that was actually very well designed, like with the eye and everything.
Yeah, I like that creature, whatever that was. It was like a crab, one-eyed crab type of thing. And it was trying to get his blood out or something.
I was wondering. I mean, we might end up knowing why, but yeah, that was kind of weird. I was like, "What's he doing?" And then he started sucking his blood through the tubes and everything. I was like, "Whoa, dang, this guy's not playing around." And meanwhile, Grogu comes out, and as we were just talking about, like he's a lot more mobile, and you see him walking to Din Djarin as the robot's like, off away doing his own thing. And Grogu is trying to like use the Force to free Mando from this metal cage, but somehow he's not able to do it. And the robot comes out because he hears him. And Din Djarin tells Grogu to go get Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
And he leaves. And as he's leaving, there's this monster that lands right in front of him. And Grogu's like, nothing's going to stop me. And he just gets over his fear. Because this whole time, as he's moving in closer into Mandalore, he's like afraid of all these other creatures. Like one of them looks like a crocodile or something.
Yeah.
And, he gets over his fear and he uses the Force to push this monster out of his way. I was like, yo, cool.
Yeah. Well, he pushes the Alamite, right?
Yeah, the Alamo. Yeah.
So here's a weird thing about that scene was that when and this happened on Star Wars Theory last night was everyone was like saying why did he ask for Bo-Katan and not Boba Fett? His chat were like, why didn't he ask for Boba Fett? And the reason is because Boba Fett is super far away. You know, they're probably like light years away from
Bo-Katan's like just a planet over.
Yeah, and
Makes sense.
That was strange that that they were wondering why they went with Bo-Katan. Obviously, she's the closest person around. Mm-hmm. She's probably the only person around.
Yeah, you're right. I think she is. So. And it was kind of actually cool because not only do we see Mandalore, and not only do we see where Bo-Katan is.
It's in the same system.
We also see where Din Djarin was born, called Concordia.
I grew up there, on that moon, Concordia.
Which is
they don't say he's born there; they say he's raised there.
Raised there.
So
right,
that's probably where Death Watch got him.
Welcome to Death Watch.
And they took him back to. I mean, they don't tell you where he's from.
Right.
Yet.
That's just where he was raised.
Yeah, so that's where he came up with the Mandalorians.
Yeah, so they're all within the Mandalorian system. You got Mandalore. For those on YouTube, you can see my hands. But you got Mandalore here. You got Concordia. And then you got the other planet that Bo-Katan.
Yeah, Kalevala.
Kalevala. There you go.
Yeah, so, and then he explains all that, and which was... these are all questions from the last episode because nobody knew where Kalevala was, you know. And they said it was a Mandalorian planet, but they didn't say, like, if it was in the same system. Because, like, in different sci-fi franchises, you have, Romulus, right? There's a Romulan Empire, and it's not just one star. There's multiple stars, just like the Federation will have multiple stars and multiple planets, and some of those systems have more than one planet in the same system. So that's, right. But with Mandalorian, you would think that if there is any more planets, they'd probably all be contained in the same system or a nearby star. Like in our real world, there's like
our solar system. We got
8 confirmed planets, and then we have asteroid belts and things like that. And that's another thing. The last episode there was an asteroid belt, that surprised me because in the old Star Wars it wasn't a belt, it was a field.
Yes. So they're changing things up a little bit here.
But that, I mean, it brings it closer to home.
And this was actually really cool, is that baby Grogu, Grogu, gets off into the ship, and he tells the droid, he shows them on the actual radar. And this is earlier on in the episode, Din Djarin was showing Grogu how, like, where the planets are, and as Mandalorians, you got to know where you are so you never get lost. And he remembered that. In this part where he has to go get Bo-Katan, he knows exactly where Bo-Katan is, and he shows the R5 unit where to go. And that was so cool, dude. Yeah,
I like that too. I actually like the holographics display he did of the atmosphere too. I do like this droid. I mean, it's pretty simple, you know.
Yeah. Now, question: do you think that he might actually stick with Mando?
I think that would be cool. Maybe they take him out before the end of the season.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with him. Like he can stick with the group, you know. Maybe we have our own little Din Djarin team, you know.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. But so they get to Kalevala, and as they're flying into the actual planet itself, a robot comes up to Bo-Katan and says, "You have unexpected visitors," or something like that.
Yeah.
And she looks out the window and she says, she sees Din Djarin's ship. And she says,
Let's get rid of him once and for all.
and I was like, whoa, what's she going to do? Is she actually going to like try to fight him or something? Obviously, you know, she's not going to fight him because he's at the other planet, at Mandalore. But she gets there and Grogu pops out and he, you know, she already obviously already knows what happened just based upon him not being there. So
they go back and then, you know, they go back and she's kind of snippy with him, with the Grogu. I like some of his mannerisms that I'll probably show in this video. Like he's very animated, you know, and it kind of reminds me of like my kid, where she would go like this.
Our people are scattered like stars in the galaxy. The creed is how we...
You know. And Grogu pulls something like that on her. And but then they go back and what was weird too is that she sees the alamites in the ice, and then she breaks the ice with her guns, or it might not even be ice, it might be that crystal. And she breaks them through, and I don't even think they knew she was there, but she brought them down and killed them all, or
yeah, she ended up killing them all. Then she goes down deeper into Sindari, where Mando was, and you know, she sees him caged up there. Well, actually, during this whole time they're walking through, she's telling him, you know, this place was beautiful. She's telling Grogu, this place was beautiful.
This was once a beautiful civilization.
You know, and you can see, and this is just so cool, man. Like, Grogu's just sucking all this information in.
yeah,
You know, and it was kind of cool just to, like, you can kind of see that he gets it. Like, Grogu gets it, and he's invested into the Mandalorian life and society.
yeah.
So it was just so cool. Just like what was it? What was that one Mandalorian / Jedi? What was his name?
That's Tar Vizsla.
Tar Vizsla.
Yeah.
And you know, we might get another, you know, Mandalorian / Jedi, you know, out of Grogu. So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool to see, you know, her just sharing her knowledge of Mandalore. There were some things I was, you know, Jason and I were pretty bummed that they really didn't like talk much about when Mandalore was attacked by the Empire.
They're gonna get to that eventually, but yeah, they haven't brought it up yet. But it is recent. It's like the past 10, 15 years, you know, because we're probably right around the first season was 5 years after Return of the Jedi. And if I'm right, that's 10 years after A New Hope. So they're probably right around 15 years now.
Right.
So they're probably right around 15 years away from A New Hope. I want to say that stuff that happened with Mandalore was probably the very first, like right before A New Hope.
Now, I have a question, though, and you guys might even think about this, too. If the Empire destroyed Alderaan and destroyed all these other planets with the Death Star, why didn't they do that to Mandalore? It was just a thought that just popped in my head.
Yeah, it could be before
They actually made the weapon?
Before they finished it, yeah.
No, because remember in Rogue One, no, they didn't actually destroy the whole planet. It was just like different sections of the planet with that weapon.
Yeah, that was the first time they were using it. And
if you guys are new,
thanks for watching
welcome.
thus far.
Thanks for watching us. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment too. Let us know if you guys have any questions for us. If you have anything that you want us to talk about in future episodes and all that stuff, we're all down for that. Also, we want to thank everyone. We've been looking at, all those shorts we've been putting out, and even like the past video, it was the most views we've ever gotten. Yeah, it was awesome. And we're gonna keep going with this. So we just appreciate, you guys. And but going back to what we're talking about, Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, so this was directed by Rachel Morrison, cinematographer
Rachel Morrison.
from Black Panther.
Yes, Black Panther, Fruitvale Station, and this is her first directorial debut, and it was amazing because we're just looking at her on IMDb, and she's the first woman to be nominated Academy Award for the cinematography that she does, the cinematography. So it was just awesome. It was like,
it was a great episode. It was well paced.
Yeah.
It was well put together.
So Bo-Katan finds Mandalorian, fights the robot monster, and this was cool because the Darksaber, the robot took off of Din Djarin and puts off to the side, and then as she's fighting it, she puts her shield out and she sees the Darksaber, and then she uses her cable to grab it, pulls it, turns it on, and starts going to town on this robot, man. And I was like, yo, like, Din Djarin is good if he gets a couple hits in, but she was like moving around, sliding under him, scratching him up underneath. That was really cool to see. She frees Din Djarin, and she feeds him this kind of soup that all Mandalorians have, and he's never heard of it before.
Pog soup.
Pog soup. There you go.
I remember the name because we used to play with Pogs as kids.
She starts talking about Mandalore and starts talking about her father. And she says that he was a good man and he died protecting Mandalore. And then it was really cool, man. This is the thing that's amazing, bro, is that even though he has a mask, I know it might not be pedropascal that's doing this, but just the body language alone, you can see that he stops, he pauses, and out of respect and honor, he looks at Bo-Katan and he says, "This is the way. This is what we do. We give our lives for each other, and we give our lives for the cause, for Mandalore." And so she starts leading them into the Mines of Mandalore, to the living waters, I believe, right?
Yeah.
As you go deeper into the Mines of Mandalore, it really starts to get older and older, and you start to see actually the cave and everything. You see the big thing of water right there. The scale of this episode was intense.
Yeah.
It was huge. And I know they're using that technology. What is it called?
Volume
technology. And oh man, it looks so good.
Yeah. This episode I liked better than the last episode, the way it looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they did good. I wonder how much practical effects they actually used.
Bo-Katan says, "Oh yeah, there it is. It's not that much, And this whole time, you kind of get this feeling that she's like, "No, this, Mandalore's nothing now. It's soulless. It's nothing. It's just a cemetery. A graveyard." And he's just looking at her. This is beautiful. He sees the potential of it becoming this glorious civilization once more.
Yeah.
Did you kind of get that vibe?
Yeah, she's kind of given up on it because she was, like they say, part of the royal family, and her sister was Duchess Satine, and she was in charge of Mandalore at one point, and then but she was with Death Watch. which is weird because that's pretty much where Din Djarin came from.
These are the Death Watch. They're Mandalorian terrorists.
Din Djarin starts taking off his jetpack and taking his weapons off and everything. He starts going into the water, and as he's going into the water, he's saying the oath. He's reminding himself of why he's doing this, because he wants to be redeemed. I'm kind of getting this vibe though, bro. Like near the season's end, I'm kind of getting this vibe that he might actually see like the people that he's been working with and living with, all the other Mandalorians in his cult, are just, I mean, it's all for nothing, you know? Everything they believe in is just a sham. You know, I'm kind of getting that vibe like near the end, he's going to figure out himself like, this is not the way. This is not the way. This is not how I want to. This is not how we as Mandalorians are supposed to be, you know?
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting that vibe a little bit.
Because like the whole helmet thing is a new thing, you know. Even Death Watch, where even the time that he actually got rescued, they would have been taking their helmets off. You know. So
Right. So do you think that they started it? Like,
yeah,
Watch?
it was they're calling them the Children of the Watch. So somehow that started. So we'll probably see that too.
Really hope they really kind of close that off. But as he's going into the water, he's saying the oath, and he gets dragged down. You don't know by what yet.
Yeah.
And, already Bo-Katan has saved him. Already, that's once, just with the robot and the Darksaber. And then so she has to go in and save him again. Jumps in with her jetpack, and that was actually really cool. That was a cool little shot of her going into the water, trying to save him with her jetpack.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
I have no scientific explanation for that.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's Star Wars. It doesn't make sense. But she sees him. He's all the way at the bottom, and this thing was deep, bro. Several hundred feet.
Yeah.
And so she grabs him, and as she's going up, what happens next, Jay?
A creature that's reptilian looking. And Bo-Katan reacts like, what the hell did I just see right now? You know, like she couldn't believe that was there. And
You see like her bubbles out of her mask. Like she's completely in shock of what this thing is.
yeah. And it's for sure the mythasaur. You can actually see the profile and it's kind of like the silhouette of what it looks like with the horns. Mm-hmm. And you see that, and then they go up. It ends kind of strange because they go up and nobody says anything, and
they're completely in shock.
Yeah,
I don't think Din Djarin knew what happened.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But it's a great segue to another episode.
Bro, I was freaking out when I saw it. I was like, wait, what is that? And you see the eye, and then you see the horns, and I'm thinking, oh my God, they actually went there. The mythasaur. Now, for those of you who don't know what a mythasaur is, the mythasaur is this creature that the Mandalorians that fought against it. Yes, the first Mandalorian fought against it, killed it, and then they started riding them too.
They tamed them, yeah.
They tamed them. These huge creatures. They're like what, several hundred feet?
Yeah, well, they're probably like at least 50 feet.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, okay. Huge creatures. They would definitely, give a Rancor a run for its money.
Yeah, and then they talk about him in Boba Fett. They talk about it, and that's the actual, that's their whole insignia or whatever.
Yeah, their symbol. Yeah, and it was so cool. Okay, so Jason knew they were going there. He knew that he wasn't too shocked about it. I was completely caught off guard with that. And I called him later, and we were just like, I was just kind of fanboying out. It was a good episode, bro. I'd give it a 9.5 Oh,
Yeah, that's probably a 9 for me too with this episode because it's probably one of my favorite episodes. I think it had a very different feel to it. I think it was very unique and but very Star Wars. You know.
right. I have a couple of questions for you, bro. Do you think that now that there's a mythasaur, do you think that gives the Mandalorians more cause to go back to Mandalore than the actual Darksaber itself?
Oh yeah, I think that would make a big difference to tame again the mythasaur. You know, why is it surfaced after so long? And you know, they could build a lot off of it too because that's not something that's like really mainstream in Star Wars.
Right, that's mostly legends that we see that, which I didn't really think that we would actually see a mythasaur in Mandalorian, a live action, period. I thought they were all dead.
Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna go there. Gosh. Well, not maybe not until I saw the water.
The scope of this episode was amazing. Amazing scope. Cinematography was on point. The acting was on point. The writing was on point. Everything just fired on all cylinders. It was a fantastic episode. Like I said, 9.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's everything I have to say about chapter 18.
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't appeared in Star Wars at all.
Yeah. Wow. You know, and it just makes you think like there's so many questions. There's so many questions that all of us have. Like, what are their life expectancy? Like, can they only be in water? Do they have to only breathe in water? Can they go on land too? Like, there's just so many questions I have, and I'm looking forward to maybe not all those questions being answered, but at least some. That would be nice.
Yeah, what's weird is there's no there's not a lot of information on it either.
Are they only in Mandalore? That's
yes.
the series? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, man. Really good episode. Yeah, if you guys have any questions for us, if you comment down below, you can reach us also on all of our platforms, Facebook, Instagram, at whatthescifi.
Yeah. whatthescifi@gmail.com.
Yes,
What
that's
the
our
sci-fi
email.
Instagram.
Catch us on our link on all our links, link tree.
Thanks for watching.
All right, well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys as soon as we do another one.
All right, have a good day, y'all.